Good evening, everybody and anyone. Welcome to another broadcast of the Overwatch All-Star Brawl number 3. Been doing this for a little while now. Presented to you, as always, by Star Esports Live. I hope you guys at home are all having a good evening, ready to get in some Overwatch action on this awesome Friday night. I have a great game for you tonight. We've got the losers bracket semifinals of Old Man Strength versus Team 2. Should be a good one. These guys have been fighting back from the depths of the losers bracket. And it has been a long battle to get here. So one of them going home tonight, one of them moving on to the finals of losers bracket to move on. My name is Twess, and as always, I cannot do this alone. Thankfully, I'm joined once again by the awesome Shy Guy. How you doing tonight, Shy?
Dude, I'm doing wonderful. I'm just pumped to be here, and how could you not be? We are getting down to the nitty-gritty. This is the very end of the tournament. We got 4 matches left. Tonight, we are going to decide one of the winners or the grand final participants and both of our losers final participants. We're gonna get one coming out of this game right here as they continue what have been frankly incredible lower bracket runs for both of these teams.
Yeah, both of these teams, as we talked about a little bit before the broadcast tonight, Shy, got knocked out in like the second round of winners bracket and have been climbing back all the way through losers. Old Man Strength taking over Magneterra, over Citizens, and over Dismissed. Team 2 taking it over Icy Hot, Turbulence, and Inked. Another team that I was excited to see last week, Inked versus Scion. I didn't get to catch that one, but Team 2 was taking over them too, man. So both of these teams have been on a long run through the whole tournament, but the losers bracket especially, man. And they're here, they're semifinals. I mean, a couple more matches, and they could be going home with the Brawl 3 victory.
Absolutely. I mean, and both of these teams got sent down into the lower bracket by our winners final participants. We'll see that game later on tonight. But for the time being, this is just set up to be a really, really entertaining matchup to me. I got to be on the cast for both of their games in the previous round, and I gotta say, I came away really, really impressed with both squads. Old Man Strength, they got a really impressive, dominant victory over Dismissed in the last round. Team 2 coming away with a really hard-fought, kind of gritty win over Inked, and the kind of differences between these two teams and the way they've gotten here have been really interesting. I mean, Old Man Strength has just been on a tear since they got into the lower bracket, and I mean, Team 2 kind of the same way, but have maybe had to fight a little bit more to make it to this point. It's going to be fascinating to see how these two teams match up here tonight.
Yeah, I am really excited. I think this is the first time that I've gotten to cast either of these two teams. I've gone back and watched a lot of the VODs and a lot of the previous reels. Old Man Strength has really impressed me quite a bit. First off, I really like their name. Their name is banging. I'm going to give it to them, so shout-outs to that. Whoever came up with your team name, guys, if you go back and watch this VOD, hit me up with the DMs because I need you on my marketing team. That's just a good name. But it's just great. And they've been really impressive. All the VODs I've gone back and watched of them over the last couple weeks as I've been trying to catch up and keep up with everything. They've been like really solid. They've had a couple of matches where it seems like they've struggled, and they've never given up and never said die. I mean, they just keep hanging in there, it seems like. And some of them, as you'd said, have been very, very dominating as well. I feel like Old Man Strength has consistently gotten better throughout this tournament. Maybe that just seems a little that way, but I feel like they've gotten better as they've grown throughout this tournament.
No, I mean, and they have had to go through pretty much like a murderer's row to get to this point. The 3 teams that they've played in the lower bracket, Magneterra, Citizens, and Dismissed, those are veterans. Those are teams that have been around for a while that I had pretty high expectations for in this tournament. And Old Man Strength has dispatched of each and every one of them. And they've done it with style and been, as you said, kind of building and building and building up that momentum. They're now a very dangerous threat to me. They're the team that, you know, if I had to make a pick going into tonight's series, my money would be on Old Man Strength. But Team 2 has shown me a lot of fight in them. They're a team that doesn't fold easily. They faced a lot of resistance in the last round against Inked. We even had a tie on one map. Everything was close, and they were just so consistently clutch that I don't know what is going to win out here. Is it the team that has just been kind of rolling through the competition, or is it the team that's had to fight a little bit more to make it to this point? And to see that play out, I think, is going to be incredibly fun.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same ball with you there. I think if I was a betting man, I think I'd have to put my money towards Old Man Strength, just because it seems like to me, my reasoning is they've seemed like they've grown so much. Team two, I feel like, has always kind of been playing with that edge right there, like barely getting by. And I just haven't seen as much growth from them as I feel like I have seen from Old Man Strength. It's like a graph. Like Team Two is just consistent right here, and Old Man Strength is just like going up and over the ledge, man. They're just not slowing down. And I swear, every VOD I've seen from them, their play consistently seems to get better. We'll see if that happens tonight when we get into this match here in a little bit, but I'm very excited, Shaw. We're getting to the end, man. You said it earlier, man. I'm taking the words from you. The nitty gritty. We're getting down to it. And I think this game and the next game that we get to cast tonight are going to be huge. And I think that's really going to kind of put in place these top, because we're in basically the top 4 teams right now. And I think how these next 2 games play out tonight are really going to set the stage for how the finals are going to go. And I'm just super excited about it. So a little bit about the match tonight, though. First one we're going to be getting into is Lijiang Tower. Looks like we're getting the team settled in, and they're getting all hooked up and everything right now. So we're going into Lijiang, a little bit of control. Have you got any team comps you expect to see coming out tonight, Shy, from either one of these teams?
Yes, indeed. As we head into control specifically, I've got a couple players on both sides that I want everybody to keep an eye out for. For Old Man Strength, it's got to be Yeetle, the guy who comes in here. He's playing the wrecking ball for the most part for this team. He'll flex over to the Sigma when the comp calls for it, when they're on specific points. But this guy, at his heart, this dude is an expert on the wrecking ball, one of the most popular streamers out there when it comes to that hero in particular. And now he's bringing those skills to Old Man Strength. It's kind of a secret weapon for them that I've really only seen them break out on these control maps, but it makes them so hard to deal with. And he's just going to be a huge X factor for me tonight, especially if later on in the series we come back to control.
Yeah. That makes me excited to know that the Wrecking Ball will be coming out a little bit more consistently. We've seen, at least me when doing the casting through this league, I've seen a lot of the desperation Wrecking Ball. Like at the very end, you got to get back to the point. You got to just delay a little bit. You got to cause a little bit of havoc. But I'm excited to see maybe a little bit more consistent Hammond in play here as we get into it, because really we've seen, at least since Sigma's been released, it's pretty much consistently been Orisa and Sigma. I've seen a wild hair Reinhardt that just hasn't seemed to work out too much very often, but I mean Sigma and Orisa are really the big ones, and that desperation Hammond. But man, if we can see some consistent awesome Hammond play, it'd be super exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. And then on the other side, the guy I'm looking out for has got to be Magic Mateball, the main support for Team 2. It has been just a dynamic Lucio player throughout this tournament. Really likes to get aggressive in fights, and here on Lijiang Tower especially, the opportunity for those environmental kills could be really massive. He's had some huge plays on Lijiang Tower in particular, and something to remember as we if we potentially find ourselves on Night Market. Team 2 has shown a willingness to break out some unorthodox stuff. Last time I saw them, they ran out with a Symmetra, teleported straight to the point while running a Reinhardt Orisa DP or tank duo. So they're willing to go outside the box, both of these teams, to an extent, and it's going to be fascinating to see how kind of their different styles and approaches to that play out here tonight.
Yeah. I got to eat my words a little bit too. I think I have seen Team 2, or at least got to cast them a little bit, because as soon as you mentioned Magic Mateball, I thought to myself, I was like, is that the Lucio player? And then you followed up with the amazing Lucio. I was like, yes, it is. That's the guy with the huge environmental kills that we've seen. Saw him a lot on Nepal, I remember. I think he was getting those huge environmental knockoffs on Nepal for some big swings. So yeah, I think I have seen Team 2 before, because CJ is also one that sticks out in my mind, of one that I remember as well at this point. So. But officially, match started. A little bit of setup there as we got rolling. Coming into it, it's going to be game 1 tonight. Coming into losers bracket semifinals. We got Old Man Strength on the left side, on the blue, on defense officially. And Team 2 going to be in the Team 2 slot on red on the right side. Thankfully, they're over there. So got to keep everybody situated tonight. And hey, Shy Guy, you kind of said it a minute ago. Symmetra already on the side of Team 2, ready to rock.
Yeah, I imagine this one is just going to be for the teleport out of spawn. I don't expect them to continue on with it after that.
Yeah.
But a nice little strategy to get those tanks out in front, get them to the point first where they can set up the Reinhardt out as well from Devil. This is a look they've shown before and one that they're very practiced at. They're already taking control of the space.
Yeah, however, Dime's already off in the corner over here, getting lots of damage coming into the shields, but Team 2 not slowing down. They're pushing in aggressively. Devil gonna get the first blood of the night here, taking Yeatle out of here. No Sigma for you. The point is not unlocked quite yet. Just as it opens up right there, it's gonna be in the favor of blue team on Old Man Strength at the beginning, but Devil is already on the board. They're trying to clear out and try to recapture here. A sneaky little cap there from the farm.
Yeah, that's not a bad start. Dime's making the big plays, gets a kill on the Nick as well. They do have to fall back, though, and eventually give up the cap. But kills coming in here late means that this is going to be a quick re-engage for Old Man Strength.
Yeah, and Hazard on the ball gets the headshot onto Wannabe on the Reaper. Dimes with the barrage as well, so 2 ults already coming out for Old Man Strength. Madero has the Coalescence as well, and just as you said it, the late kills going in Old Man Strength's favor, and they will get the...
As soon as they are able to deal with Wannabe, the flip comes in, so 24% on the board for Team 2. Not the worst start in the world, but they end up losing that first fight. The patience from Old Man Strength is fantastic. Dimes just slowly plinking away from the edges of the fight and eventually finds pay dirt, so really well played by them. How can they set up for this defense, though?
Yeah, I'm surprised to see Old Man Strength back up. I thought they were going to stay really aggressive on that choke point, but they do decide to back up and return, try to give a little peeks for Hazard and Dimes on their little bit of long-range DPS, but it's not working out in their favor too much right now as Team 2 is trying to come in very hot. Coalescence will go out. Devil has the slam ready as well if he feels like he needs to use it, and they're just slowly ticking away as this Old Man Strength is getting picked off the point. A nice, smooth recapture for Team.
Yes, and they do exactly what their composition is designed to. They just bully the front line of Old Man Strength. They take the fight on the point, and when you've got that Reaper May as your DPS duo, the Pharah and Hanzo, they have to give up space, and that leaves the front line of Old Man Strength a little bit exposed there. They don't have the backup they need to stand their ground, and they eventually just get bullied off the point.
I think because of that reason, we see the 2 DPS swap. Dimes onto May, Hazard onto Reap. The canister will come out for Mac, but Blizzard right on top, going to freeze them all up right there. Wannabe going to make quick work with him. Shotguns full auto right there. He's all over the place. Triple for Wannabe, and an easy defensive hold as we tick up to about 65% here for Team 2. The DPS comp switch not working out in that fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's a decision they had to make at that point. You can't wait to make that call any later. But it puts you at a severe disadvantage when it comes to ultimate, and that's not going to change going into this fight. The Supercharger, the Death Blossom, and that sound barrier online for Team 2.
Yeah, it's going to be a very scary fight here. PJ1, I assume, will be dropping this down quick, but Hazard gets a nice pickoff onto CJ in the back, so the support will be down. Also has the Death Blossom from Wannabe. Not going to pick anybody up, but it does scare Old Man Strength off the point. Yeatle will get frozen, go down as well. Madero trying to keep people alive with the Coalescence. Not going to be able to do quite enough. Like, easy back and forth here. Nick is going to fall as well. Got frozen up right there by Dimes and officially taken out. 99% for Team 2. They're trying to clear the points off. And Old Man Strength has to retreat and regroup just a little bit. They're going to try to push back in one more time. Here comes the Hammond, as you were talking about, Yeatle, and that last-minute desperation, just trying to knock him off the point, and Team 2 is set up strong here.
Yeah, they've got pretty much everyone back on the point ready to go, and Hazard's got that Death Blossom to try to bring Old Man Strength back into it, but it's not going to happen. Just gets isolated, dealt with immediately, and Old Man Strength going to come up a bit short here on Control Center as Team 2 take the first point.
That was just really played from Team 2, I think, man. I give a little bit of hard time about us not seeing an effective Reinhardt comp at the beginning there, but you talked about it, man. They just got in their face, got up in that front line, and just wreaked havoc the whole. I think Old Man Strength could have had a little bit better choice on their positioning once they had that first cap. They really, as soon as they pushed in, they just really backed off and tried to give the open space to Dimes and Hazard to sit back and pop a little bit of DPS. But with that frontline strength, I don't know if that was the right call or not, giving up that choke point.
Yeah, and when you've got those double shields and the really maneuverable shield from Devil, the angles are hard to come by for Dimes and Hazard, and we're gonna see that same battle kind of play out here once again. This time I expect the Symmetra to stick around for Wannabe as they head towards that top window. They're gonna get to the point first, but They might be taking their time. Nope, actually, they finally get in there, and now the onus is on Old Man Strength. How do you crack in here?
Yeah, Edel going back onto the Hammond as well from the beginning this time. Not just going to do the Desperation with Hammond. He's going to go in, try to cause a little bit of havoc in the background, open up some opportunities for Dimes. Dimes already at 65% ult charge, trying to get that barrage up very quickly. Takes Magic 8 Ball out of there. Mac will go down as well, so a little bit of trades back and forth. Once again, the initial cap in Old Man Strength's favor as Team 2 is trying to get...
Oh, that was so well played by Team 2. They kite that beautifully, only losing Mac in that fight, and they get control of the point. They do... We're seeing the same thing kind of play out here as it did there on Control Center. The retake's still possible for Old Man Strength if they can find some more kills, but a little bit difficult until Dimes goes in.
A quick response from PJ1 right there. Takes him out quick on the Orisa, but not before Nick and Magic 8 Ball both go down. Thankfully, a couple more return kills coming out in Team 2's favor, or that could have been absolutely disastrous. Battle of the tanks and supports right now. Wannabe just kind of sitting in the back on the Reaper, just popping in some damage to the shield right there. But that could have been huge for Old Man Strength, and somehow Team 2 just...
Team 2 gets the reinforcements that they need to hold on for now, but they're forced into an awkward position, committing ults to try to dig themselves out of a hole. Can they do it? No kills just yet.
Yeah, they tried to ult it out with Hazard right there. Dragon Strike coming through, but wasn't able to get any damage off it. Just got the pick off right there onto CJ, just with a little bit of arrow left. But the ult not coming into play right now. Some back and forth trading. Yeatle gets a nice kill onto the Reaper. Maybe an opportunity there as Nick takes off the DPS and Hazard as well. So back and forth all over the place. Yeatle going to drop the mines on the control point, and that might finally give Old Man Strength the space they need to recapture this.
Indeed it will. Finally, Team 2 going to have to back off after a little bit more stall in here. The Reapers in the area not going to be able to get out there. Gets booped off the edge almost by Yeatle. Will barely escape with his life. But 67% on the board for Team 2 is a fantastic start for them. The comp they have controls that space so well, made it almost impossible to completely clear them off.
Yeah, that Hammond was really coming to play there. Gave him a ton of space just to knock him off, spread him out. Dimes once again with the barrage. You can be able to pick anybody up here. Gets Nick out of here, so no May. Mac and Hazard going to follow it up as Hazard is swapped off onto the Doomfist, giving up on the Hanzo for now. And that should be a nice, full, clean clear for Old Man Strength. And that should even up the percentages quite a bit here.
And now you're seeing where this comp of Old Man Strength excels. Out in these open spaces, out in the courtyard where the Pharah has free reign over the skies, has all the time in the world to lay in rockets. This Team 2 make their approach.
Hazard trying to cause some havoc right here as he jumps into the face of Devil right there. Just a little bit of damage in the background, but not enough. Yeatle going to spread him out. Devil trying to get a charge, goes through the Blizzard. The Blizzard a little bit awkwardly placed here as nobody going to get stuck right there. Hazard gets a pick off in the back, but Reaper on the side of Team 2 going to make him pay for it as he takes him out. It's a 5v5 here. Dimes able to get the pick off onto Reinhardt. That's going to be huge, and Carfixer going to pick up Hazard. So now it's a 6v4, make it a 6v3 as Yeatle and Madero going to make it a lot more, and that is going to clean them off. Once again, Old Man Strength putting their feet in the ground and just sticking it.
Yes, and now you're seeing, it's a little bit harder here for Team 2. Nick can't get anything done with that Blizzard in the last fight. A strange barrage coming out from Dimes there. That had to be a fat finger. He's going to want that one back as Team 2 try to get in here to trigger the overtime. Yeah,
I think it's going to be up to Reaper here. Wannabe going to have to get in here and make some huge damage with this Death Blossom. Hazard is going to go ahead and pop the ultimate right now, get up in the air. Coalescence is out as well. Gets a pick off onto Devil, trying to do the copycat Hammond play right here. Wannabe going to try to pop his ult, but he's going to get taken out no problem, and that should be a massive advantage for Old Man Strength. Should be able to tie this up very quickly here as soon as May can get out of her.
Yes, they've just got a little bit of cleaning up to do before they send us to a third and final decider here on Lijiang Tower. Old Man Strength fighting back hard there. They finally get into a position where Yeatle can really shine as this wrecking ball, and they make it work for them on Night Market. It's going to come down to Gardens, which is probably, I think, the best point for them.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Old Man Strength has an advantage on this point here. Going to be out in the open, but as well, the actual capture point itself, I think, going to lend in favor of Yeatle and Hammond as well, being able to swing around that midpoint, knock them up, separate them. He was doing such a good job of just keeping them spaced out. He wasn't letting them stay safe behind that Reinhardt and that Orisa. He was just knocking away, slamming them back, and letting his DPS do the work, picking them off one by one until they had the numbers advantage and they pushed in. So just really good play here from Old Man Strength on that last point.
See how Team 2 choose to respond to this. They know that Yeatle is going to be waiting for them, potentially looking for a knockoff as they try to make their way to the point. Can he time it right? It's not going to happen just yet, but the boop is there.
Woo! Dimes with the huge play, gets the triple environmental. And as we've seen, they get the quick capture the first 2 games after, and then followed up with Team 2 getting the recapture, but not this time. The full clear, full wipe, and Old Man Strength going to get it and hold it here.
And that's just a beautiful set play coming out from Old Man Strength. They know exactly what the approach is from Team 2. You can't chance going over the bridge, so you've got to go through the white halls, and that leaves you exposed for a split second. The halt, the concussion rocket, set it all up. Hazard in a bit of a tough spot here, halted in and dealt with immediately.
Be a little bit too aggressive there on the Doomfist. He was trying to cause a little bit of havoc, but went down himself. Yeatle going to make up for it, though. Get the pick off onto CJ. Try to make it just a little bit more in their favor. Unfortunately, Car Fixer goes down as well, so he wasn't able to get back there and pick Hazard up. Dimes, though, going to make it easy. Making a quadruple kill right there. The quad barrage, clearing the point once again. Another strong defensive hold from Old Man Strength, and they are getting on this roll. 40% and ticking. Team 2 going to have to reset again.
I mean, that barrage is up so fast, but that's what happens when you get the environmental kills in the first fight. Your ultimate is online immediately. So now this is a pretty tough situation for Team 2. Hazard behind you looking for kills. You lose Magic Mate Ball on the entry.
Yeah, Magic Mate Ball, the one we talked about in the pregame, could have been a huge playmaker here. Even getting 1 or 2 boops off the edge would be massive, but Yeatle going to have those landmines ready. Mac going to have the damage boost ready. CJ does have the Coalescence on the side of Team 2, but don't know if Coalescence is going to be enough. That Hammond landmine going to be able to space them out so much. Dimes just getting the triple kill by himself right there as well. The rest of his team going to clear it up. I think they might have one more chance for Team 2 to retake this.
They were just spawn camping Mateball and Wannabe, and they're still able to participate in the fight by the time Team 2 pushes in. Nothing going in favor of the red team at the moment, and they're in, down to their last shot here.
Yep, trying to do the duplicate here. Devil on the Hammond. Doesn't matter. Dimes gets another environmental kill. Sigma going to be out of here. Nick trying to drop the Blizzard on the point. Dimes gets a barrage kill on Magic Mateball. Will pay for it with his life as Devil gets the pick off there. But doesn't matter. Madero, Car Fixer, and Mac all dropping their ultimates. Kill feed's going blue. Devil trying to get on there just a little bit. I don't think it's going to be enough. They barely hold on to the overtimer as Diva gets in here just in time. They're going to try to trickle in. Devil getting knocked off the point. That overtimer is going to tick down very fast, and yet somehow still not gotten it entirely. They're just trying to trickle in, but I think that is going to do it. Old Man Strength taking game number 1, getting better as they go.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a slow start for them on, admittedly, a point that did not favor their compositional choices, what they were trying to run. As soon as they got out onto Night Market, onto Gardens, it was all Old Man Strength pretty much, especially that final map. It was all Dimes all day, just the carry performance on this DPS pick for Old Man Strength. They come away with the first map win, and that is massive for them. I think that it's their best game type, I would say, and the one that they're most comfortable at. So they need to get these wins when they've got the chances. Now it's up to Team 2 to come up with a response.
Yeah, and it might be tough. I think it'll be a huge determining factor on what map we go to next. I think you got the nail on the head right now, at least in this composition against team versus team here. The aerial supports, if they can get that Dimes up in the air with the Mercy in the background, give Yeatle enough space that he can do his kind of room making ability on the Hammond. I think map choice is going to be huge here for Team 2.
And now I want to know what their kind of mental situation is like right now, because that last map, especially there on Gardens, that's an easy one to get tilted by. The environmental kills and getting completely shut out, having no real shot at taking that map. You were never in it from the jump. it doesn't ever feel good, but Team Two has shown themselves to be a resilient team. So I don't think this series is over by a long shot. These teams incredibly close. That one just, I think especially favored by Old Man Strength. Their composition was fantastic, and they ran it to perfection.
Yeah, it was really good. And I agree with you 100% on the mental fortitude thing here. I think Team 2 has it in them to keep in it, but going so close on the first 2 rounds and then getting 100-0 on the third one after that just opening huge play from Dimes, it hurts, man. It hurts your mental strength a little bit. It doesn't feel good at all. Obviously, you're down in the numbers game now in the match, but yeah, your mental fortitude, you got to stick in there and you got to dig your feet in now and really start playing the team. Don't get mad at each other. Don't do call outs. Don't do any of that. You got to stick together, work together. We're going to see how they do it. They go with Temple of Anubis. So that a lot of openings here, long distance shots, maybe for Guile or Hazard to get in here and take some big hits. But we'll have to see, man. Temple of Anubis. Here we go.
Yeah. Before we get into map number 2 here, I do want to give a quick shout out to Hype House TV coming through with the Prime sub here tonight. We appreciate the support from him and anyone else who would like to give us a little bit, whether it's just a follow, the donations, the subs, everything is super helpful for allowing us to continue to put on these tournaments. And one little small thing you can do, scroll down right below the Twitch stream and you can find the MVP poll here tonight, which is where you, the viewer, can choose one of these players that you think is having a standout performance, and you can give them a little bit of props. So we will, of course, be announcing the results of that at the end of the stream, but get your chance in now, or perhaps, maybe you need to see more than one map before you make a decision. I'll leave that one up to you guys.
I think we could see some big plays coming out here. I think, at least in my mind, Shy, it seems like Dimes was the one that we saw the most action out of on Li Zhang there, but got a lot more games come up, potentially 4 more matches, a lot more people to get on the board. But yeah, I agree with Shy 100%. Hype for the Hype House there, coming in with that Prime sub. Anybody that checks it out, do the follow, come back and see us. Go check out the Discord, go check out the Twitter, Star Esports Live, and keep supporting this awesome crew. I want to give my personal shout outs while we're talking about it, Shy, in between matches. I've been loving casting with you and the crew here at Star Esports Live. It's been great. So shout out to the people behind the scenes that put it all together. You guys rock.
Absolutely. Now, as we make our way into Temple of Anubis, a couple things to note. Our teams have swapped sides here. Team 2 going to be on the left there on the defense first this time around. The Old Man Strength going to come out on the attack, and they've made a couple subs here. You said it, just a second ago. Dimes has been the one lighting up the kill feed so far. He is out of the lineup right now. Guile is in, and to me that says the Pharah is not really going to be in play here. We are exclusively going to run the May, I believe, is what I expect Guile to be playing here. And then Veg also coming in for Yeatle. So no more Wrecking Ball. We're going to be all Sigma all the time. Much.
I think this is a huge advantage that teams can have, to have this kind of depth, to really be able to have swaps come in. They picked the map, or the map was picked, Temple of Anubis. They knew, okay, it's time to swap out here. Let's bring in Guile, let's bring in Veg, and really put this team together. I think this could be massive here for Old Man Strength, since they have that kind of depth to be able to bring it in. We'll see what they can do coming in on the offensive.
Yeah, they're going to rotate around the left side here, coming in through the kind of natural choke point, the halts and cooldowns being traded right now. No one really willing to stick their head out at this point until all of the shields are ready to go, and then Old Man Strength are going to make their move.
Yeah, I don't know if you see it this much on the map, but I am kind of surprised we don't see a Reinhardt after seeing it so impressive on the first one. But here we go. Fight is on as they get up on the high ground now, and they just go past them. I like this play a lot as they're all the way back. They try to get wrapped around behind them. A good defensive move back here from Team 2. They're falling, though. Hazard and Mac all over the kill feed. Mac on the Orisa just laying down massive damage, cleaning them up. And, man, Old Man Strength pushes in pretty easily on point 1 after a little bit of a stall out at the beginning.
Yeah, they're showing their strength right now. They just bully Team 2 in that fight. They push them off the high ground, and then they don't let up. They keep pressing that advantage. They get the freeze onto Nick and are able to secure that kill and just keep them going like dominoes.
Yeah, and the ult's pretty even right now. Nobody has them up right now, but high percentage numbers on both sides of the board here. So I'm wondering if they're going to try to, Old Man Strength is going to try to keep this pressure up. They are going to wrap around to the side, or if they're going to try to maybe delay, try to get some ults up. PG1, the only one right now with the Graviton Flux.
Yeah, they're a little bit behind in that regard, so they might be looking to take their time. They're ready to go in, though, as Hazard forced out from the Wraith Walk.
Yeah, he tried to go up top right there, but a good play from Magic Mateball knocked him off the point. CJ on the Moira, has the Coalescence out, trying to lay it in, but the healing on both teams just so strong right now. Nobody going down. The first pick off, and it's going to be a double as PJ1 on the defensive side of Team 2 going to make it happen. Make it 3, gets the accretion blow onto the Mei as well, and not too unexpected on Temple of Anubis, but defense going to hold out on the first fight.
No, and I'm a little bit surprised and a little bit questioning the decision from Veg there to commit his Gravitic Flux as well. It came in right after PG1 used his. I'd rather see you wait a couple seconds because you immediately lost 2 team members from the Flux on the other side. You didn't find anything with yours, and that's just an ult used for nothing.
Yeah, and I think on 2 CPU like this, I think it's really important to be able to combo them together as well. Here comes the ult, though, from the attack. The Blizzard comes out from Nick on defense. Canister as well from Devil. Guile going to drop his own Blizzard after the Sound Barrier and Madera with the Coalescence. Somehow no kills are going out right now. The heal is just too strong. Hazard going to open it up. Wannabe, though, with the Death Blossom. Hazard going to respond as well, so kills all over the board here. The point is just ticking up just a little bit, but not even to 1/3. Wannabe trying to get out and take out the Reaper in the back line here. Will finally fall as both the Reapers go down. And I feel like once you start trading back and forth, it's always going to go in favor of the defense here.
Yeah, absolutely, and they played that so well in that fight between the shields and the wall from Nick, and obviously the sound barrier from Magic Mateball. They pretty much negate that Blizzard that was actually really well placed from Guile. It got both of the tanks from Team 2, but the response was perfect. They minimized the damage, and Wannabe is able to kind of bail them out by trading with that Death Blossom.
Yeah, it was really surprising. I feel like a lot of ults went out, and nobody was dying right there at the beginning. So really good defensive heals coming out from both teams at the beginning of that fight for sure.
Now the same approach here for the side of Old Man Strength, but they're pretty much without ultimates, so they're probably going to be looking at a couple of attempts here before they can really crack through.
Yeah, I really feel like they're going to have to start holding it. Madero, though, not waiting at all, is going to go ahead and pop the Coalescence. 2 pickoffs now, Veg and Guile. They're going to have to start fighting off the rest quick because the respawns will be coming in very fast. Nick in the ice block right here, going to go ahead and just hold on. Devil is going to swap over to Reinhardt. The ticks will start going up right now. Magic Mateball gets pushed away by Car Fixer, not going to be able to come in there. Oh, I love this play. Hazard trying to wrap all the way around. Guile picks Devil off as they come in from the backside, so a good response. 2/3 of the way to the capture point. We're almost halfway to the third. They're trying to trickle in on this defense.
Giving them a chance, though. They've got numbers back on the point does Team 2. The Blizzard out from Guile, though, could seal the deal.
Oh, 2 more. Guile gets a pick off on the Magic Mateball as well. They push him off the point just enough. And with 2 minutes on the board, Old Man Strength takes it. That is a impressive offense on...
Yeah, and to be able to do that in that final fight without really having any ultimates to play until later on. The only thing they used was Madero's Coalescence to start that fight. They were just getting isolated pickoffs on the members of Team 2. The first big one was getting the wall from Guile to set up the kill onto PG1, or sorry, onto Devil, and making sure that they collapsed in onto the tank line of Team 2.
Yeah, and they did a really, really good job of handling the respawns as well. I mean, usually that's the part that's so annoying, is that you can just trickle in and just delay for almost as long as you want to with such a short walk back. But they were doing great. They came from both sides. We had Magic Mateball and the Lucio come from what I'd say the standard side, and then you had the other 2 in the background, Devil coming around from the internal on the tunnel over there. And they split great. They separated Magic Mateball. They had Hazard chasing around the corner on the Reaper, keeping him back, and the rest of the team handling the ones coming through the tunnel. And they were just picking them off one after another. It's like they were shooting fish in a barrel right there on the respawns. It was great.
Yeah, it was very methodical, and it looked like they had a plan for that situation. They knew what they were doing, what their assignments were, what individual entrances they were responsible for. So very well played. by Old Man Strength. They've given themselves a really strong start here on Anubis, and now they get to settle into the defense. We're going to continue to see these mirror matchups as we move forward, and it's now on to Team 2 to come up with a strong attack of their own.
Yeah, the meta definitely shaping itself out here for sure, Shy, as both teams attack and defense bringing duplicate comps here, as the strong heroes are the strongest and the most favorable for a reason. And see a similar start that we saw last match here. Maybe a little bit of back and forth. Wall coming out for Nick to give him some space, but it doesn't matter as Guile was there for the pickoff. PJ1 can get the opening kill here, though, as Hazard goes down for Old Man Strength. And now Guile in a bad spot. Ice blocked up here on the wall. Tried to separate himself. He's going to slowly get picked off and will go down. So now the offense has an opportunity as two have gone down. Hazard swips onto the Doomfist as well. Don't think he's going to get back here in time. And a very quick, strong opening push from Team 2. They're trying to get some easy pickoffs here. And I don't know. Maybe. Old Man Strength trying to come back around.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. The Doomfist is back. They got 2 kills. This is possible. The Coalescence going to be committed by CJ to try to lock this down. But Old Man Strength can still come in here. They've got the members.
Yeah, the respawns have come back. That Hazard all the way came back around with the Doomfist. They've got a couple of picks. Wannabe, though, does have the Death Blossom. Will take the Doomfist out of the fight right there. It's going to be up to a lonely Moira. Not going to be able to, as May will fall as well. And finally, they are going to be able to do it. Good delay from Old Man Strength. They almost got it, but alas, the long run back on the side of first point going to cost them there.
And now that's the exact start you needed as Team 2 here. So you've got a huge time bank to work with. You can be patient. You can build up to your ultimate advantage. You can crack open this second point. And now, you know, they're going to start to try to come in, engage with the walls, not finding anything just yet, waiting and biding their time.
Yeah, I really think it's going to come back down to ultimate management. See how well they can collapse together, work together, use their ultimates, and not waste. As PJ1 does get his ultimate, will get frozen. CJ will go down as well. Wannabe going to fall also. Make it 3 members there as the defense can be able to hold strong here. And the defense have farmed up incredible ultimates on this push as well. The ults were pretty even back and forth, and I know Team 2 has a lot at high percentages, but I feel like if ults are even back and forth, I feel like the defense has the advantage on the 2CP.
Yeah, that last fight is kind of a failure, not for Team 2, not because they died and lost the fight. That was probably going to happen, but they didn't force anything out from Old Man Strength. So now they're pushing into, it's going to be 5 ults to 5 ults on both sides. So really explosive and going to come down to the execution here. Those blizzards especially are what I'm looking at. Yep.
There comes the Flux right now opening up. Magic 8-Ball going to drop the defensive as well for Team 2 here on Lucio. As PJ1 still has the Flux, the damage boost will come down from Mac in the background. Blizzard will go out as well. Doesn't really catch anybody but Devil. So Devil will fall here. Opportunity now to push in as they're 1 man up.
They should be okay with that trade right now, and they can press the advantage forward. A couple kills going in the way of Team 2, but they've already lost 2, and that's going to make it tough to stick around.
Yeah, they kind of half committed. They used 3 ultimates there. There's the Death Blossom now for Wannabe. A little bit late and not going to pick anything up. So a little bit awkward here. They're going to have to reset their ult again. The Death Blossom response. How are we still fighting back and forth? Where's the defensive respawns coming in to get these clear off? The offense running all the way over here. Now Nick going to drop the Blizzard as well. Such a late Blizzard. Nobody's going to fall from that. And they are going to be able to hold out. A weird offense there from from Team 2.
Yeah, the Blizzard especially is way too much at that point. You had already overcommitted to that fight by using the supercharger towards the tail end, and then to throw in the Blizzard when you have 3 people alive it's never gonna work. You cannot do that kind of thing as a team like this, especially as you're now, we're approaching tie in terms of time bank, and Team 2 hasn't made any progress.
Yeah, and they're gonna have to rebuild those ults up once again. All they've got is Coalescence. They dropped the Lucio ult as well. Coalescence will come down. They've got to make this work for themselves right now. They've got to get some pickoffs here as Team 2 going in with their only 2 ults that were up being used. Mac will fall. Hazard in the background, though, going to start landing some huge damage. Somehow doesn't get a pick onto PJ1 right there. Another kill coming out for Team 2, going to give them a little bit of advantage. But once again, the short runbacks on defense as Veg has already respawned. Get a little bit of a capture here.
Yeah, they definitely have a chance of winning this fight. They collapse onto Veg. Now they just need to deal with Mac on the point. That'll be the tanks gone and an opportunity for Team 2 to get some progress.
They are handling the respawns very well right here, but the time bank is still going. Guile able to have the ultimate up. Blizzard will... Death Blossom's trade.
That's absolutely massive. I think that's going to be enough for Old Man Strength to save it.
I agree. I feel like the longer this fight goes on, the more in favor we go in the defense. Every single second it happens. The run back on offense is just so... PJ1 does have the flux, but Wannabe is going to be down. Nick doesn't have the Blizzard up, and now the kill is really coming out for Old Man Strength as they are finally able to slow this fight down after such a long offensive push. That seems so odd.
All that for a drop of blood. Just one tick goes to the direction of Team 2 after that fight. And now we're down to a minute left. Their last chance is pretty much now. And they're not really going to have an advantage one way or other when it comes to ult. So a very even possibility here for Team 2, but this has got to be it.
I feel like they're going to have to capitalize right now that Team 2 has the Blizzard up and Old Man Strength does not. They've got to go, and they've got to go before Guile gets this Blizzard up. A great halt right there into a... Not going to do anything for him, though. Blizzard will come out from Nick. Going to have to get some pickoffs here. PJ1 gets a couple right there. A couple more for Wannabe and Nick off the Blizzard. The point will continue to tick up. They're 2/3 of the way. A great wall right there. Stops Hazard. Carfix are able to get up there and delay just a little bit. And Veg is able to get back on the point now with the Hammond. That was a beautiful May.
Carfixer may have just won them this whole map. He stalls long enough. They're at least going to get this into overtime.
Yep, and Guile comes back. He does get that Blizzard up, but nothing really coming off of it right there. I believe it's basically a 5v5 on the point now. 5v4 now, excuse me. As CJ able to get a pick off. Wannabe able to get a pick off as well onto Mac. Gives himself the Death Blossom as well because of it. A knockout from Magic 8 Ball, and that's going to clear him off. They are going to capture it. 0 points or 0 seconds on the board. But they do finally just wear him down by attrition. And Team 2 going to get it.
They stay alive. They stay alive. But that wall almost got them to finish the point with time left. It was a beautiful play from Nick there. It almost works. But Carfixer has the response in time. The wall ride able to get him back on point and buys enough time for the team to get back. They send it into overtime. Now they have 2 minutes and 12 seconds to take one tick on point B or point A.
Yeah, and both these teams we've seen had such strong offenses. I can't imagine they're going to be able to hold out for 2 whole minutes. Even with the changes recently, Shy. Do we see a full hold Bastion here on defense? I don't know.
It doesn't seem like it here. Team 2 just gonna run it back. They believe in this composition, and it's what they run almost all the time. And I understand that. I get why you don't go to the Bastion here. It's definitely a risk to do that. And if you can win the first fight, then this becomes possible to me, because that's where you get an ult advantage. And realistically, with how slow these fights have been playing out, you get 2 good fights and maybe a third if you are Old Man Strength here. So this is not done by any means, but Team 2, they've got to be perfect.
Yeah, they're going to be playing out of their minds here to hold this defense. 2 minutes. I think both pushes on the first one maybe only took a minute each, going both directions here. Coming around from the side once again, kind of the same fight we've seen over and over. Opportunity there with a big halt, but no pickoffs. There's no real long-range hit scan DPS are able to...
And Team 2 are just playing this well. They're giving up space because they want them to come through the choke, and now the fight kicks off.
The double May wall is going to split them up. A good back off here on the defense as they just back to their safety. Madero popped the Coalescence there. Didn't get anything out of it. Big stun of accretion there onto Veg. Not going to be able to capitalize on that either. Hazard gets very low. He is safely able to get out of there. Now the Flux will come out. PJ1 and CJ going to capitalize on their ultimates. Use them at the same time. Coalescence going to take Hazard out. Wannabe going to take Veg out. And you talked about winning that first fight, and it looks like that is going to be the case as the defense is going to hold this, as more and more players are going to go down for Old Man Strength.
That is an absolutely disgusting gravitic flux charge coming out from PG1. Look, Fetch is at 53%. He doubled the pace of ultimate build there when it comes to that Sigma. So really well played, and now a real possibility for Team 2. They're going to have more ultimates ready for this next fight. That Blizzard could be destructive in this small area.
Yep. And Blizzard going to be ready and raring to go. Wannabe potentially going to be able to get that ult up as well. Hazard tries to get in the background. Madero with the Coalescence once again. There goes the Blizzard.
What?
A little bit early.
No one was there.
Yeah, they did not jump onto the point like Nick expected them to. Kind of a pre-Blizzard, but just knocked them off. And that could be a little bit scary.
And the supercharger is too early too. Now that, Old Man Strength, they just wait. They lose Veg in the meantime. That is huge.
That was a big pick off. Great wall from Nick. Gonna be able to see if they can pick Nick off Mac off, excuse me. The supercharger will go out, but all that time, May on Old Man Strength has got the Blizzard up and is gonna be able to pop it. Wannabe does get the pick onto Mac. Guile gonna have to ice block, being stuck behind that Nick wall once again. Overtime is ticking. They still only need the 1/3 of a point. Wannabe on Team 2 trying to come out with the Death Blossom, not going to get any kills. Old Man Strength stalling on this point. They're trying to get back and respond, but the kill feed is consistently going blue. Another one for PG1 there. That might do it, Shy.
Yeah, they've got it. They've got the hold here. They're going to come away with the tie on Temple of Anubis. PG1, the hero in my mind of that defense. He gets 2 gravitic fluxes off and 0 for Old Man Strength. Veg does not charge up a single ultimate in that entire time, just barely dies before it comes online, and that's the thing that sealed it for Team 2 as they stave off another map loss. They avoid going down 2-0.
Yeah, and I mean that's huge. You don't get the win, you don't tie it up 1-1, but knowing that you can stay in there and just that was just a great hold. They had 2 minutes on the board. That was 2.5 fights, maybe. I won't even call it a full third fight. But what a great defense. I was scared for him. When Nick threw that Blizzard out and Old Man Strength just backed off, they said, no, we're not falling for that bait. We're not going in there. But they got the huge pick onto Veg. Yeah, I mean, the supercharger did come out a little bit early too, but they did get Veg. And I think that was just a huge turning point in that fight.
No, I mean, Veg was like a split second away from getting around the corner and avoiding his fate there. If that happens, I think that fight flips, because if he stakes around, he's going to have time to build up to that gravitic flux. He's going to be laying in damage, and they're not going to have to rush in 6v5. It was such a massive play, and it shows you how these games can turn on an absolute dime right now.
It's obvious, if you're here watching, you obviously enjoy Overwatch, and it's obvious that this is a team-based game. But that one I feel like was just like the pinnacle of what it really means. A 5v6 fight is just in no way feels even remotely even, because they lose their one player, their Sigma goes down, and then it was all for the taking of the defense to be able to hold that out, even after a couple of small misplays there to start the fight out. They get a nice pick off, and that's just going to hold it out. So, Shy Guy. Oh, man. Next pick's coming out. Going to Kings Row, baby. Let's do it. Going to London.
Right. Another classic here, and another place where, frankly, we're going to see the exact same comps. Like, no one's running anything other than what we've seen on this map. Like, let's be real. But this is going to be so fun. I believe this is just a fantastic map right now. One of the most interesting places that we've gotten Overwatch. The different ways you can set up the first point defense especially are really fascinating to me, and I'm so ready to see these teams continue to duke it out.
Yeah, this has been a close game. I'm glad it has been. We hyped it up. I was ready for it. I feel like the brackets have been setting this game up for a while, and it is such talking about the map a little bit. I love that this is one of the original maps, one of the first ones that was released when Overwatch came out. It's such a good map, Shy. It's so good. The hybrid map I really love, and just the sight lines on Kings Row right out of the gate on that first point defense and offense is great. The sight lines going down, the alleyway I think are great, and then that last curve. I love this map. This is absolutely probably one of my top 2 or 3, maybe even my favorite map. I love Kings Row.
Yeah, every time I'm in queue for a game and I see the Kings Row loading screen pop up, it just puts a huge smile on my face. I'm just excited to go into it, and I'm excited for how the rest of the series is going to play out, because I truly don't know. At this point in the series, oftentimes like we're at 2-0, it feels like we're inevitably headed towards that sweep, but not tonight. These teams are so even. They are so ready for this series that I just cannot wait. And I'm pumped that we got the tie, because it means more Overwatch for us.
Yeah, it does.
This is going to be fantastic.
So I know for a fact, since I've been casting with Star, I have not casted a draw. I'm pretty sure I've not even spectated or watched a draw. Can you recall any draws that you've casted for?
Well, it literally happened 2 nights ago with one of these very teams, Team 2 and Inked, tied on Volskaya. So yes, I have seen a draw here and there, and I love to see it in a case like this. And in that series, it still ended in a 3-0. But that it just made things feel so much more tense, so much more down to the wire, as those teams traded blows. It was a lot like this series, and the teams were really even, and one team kind of just edged out consistently a little bit. And we'll see how that continues to play out. I think Team 2, they found something there on that last defense, where if they can continue playing like that, then this series is really going to be incredibly close.
Yeah. We've talked about it a couple times, I know, Shikes. We've got the pleasure of casting with each other a few times in this October bracket. We talked about in the Tier 3 community specifically, sometimes the matches are not as even as you'd hoped, because even the little bit of advantages could make such a big difference. So when you get down to a match like this where they're drawing each other out, it just feels so good and so competitive.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I live for as a caster right now, these kinds of matches. And now we've got both teams rolling out with the usual suspects. The lineup is all there, as Team 2 going to be set up for the attack as they get in position. They've taken control of kind of the statue area of the map, but just waiting for those shields to be ready to go.
Yep, they are going to make their push in right now. Both the May walls are out. The Reapers were dancing over in the room next door. Wannabe going to come out on top, so the side of offense going to get the first opening bloodlust here. Matt going to respond, though, taking Nick out of this fight. The short run back for the offense, though, is always going to go in their favor when they're trading. Nobody else falling down yet right now, as CJ able to get the coalescence out. Madero going to make it even back and forth as well. Matt gets another kill, so he's got 2 on the board right now, as Magic Mate Ball will go down. He's going to take out Devil as well, so now the defense able to find their feet here a little bit as they get the double and push them back to their home base. Oh, could be a late pickoff here. Great
They're going to get it.
They're
going to chase them all down. That is beautiful. I love to see it there. Really, in that fight, we see kind of I would say, like, the respective value of the 2 DPS that we've got on the field. The May for Team 2 goes down, the Reaper for Old Man Strength, and Guile just kind of wins that fight. The wall and the freeze, so valuable.
Yep, and the Flux coming out from Veg this time to open up. PG1 has his on board. Nothing coming out of that one for Veg, though, so maybe a little bit too early there on the defense. There's the supercharger from Mac. Will go down to the background wall. Ice wall going to be a little bit defensive there. Only going to save him for a little bit, though. A halt to group them all up. Hazard in the background, going to try to take Magic Mate Ball down. He will be able to fall with a little bit of help from Veg. The Blizzard coming out as well from Guile on the defense. And it should be a strong hold right now as they are 2 men up. Nick going to get picked off as well, and they're going to chase him back to spawn once again.
There you see kind of how the individual cooldowns define so much of how Overwatch is played right now. The Fortify gets forced out from Devil, and then immediately Guile goes in with the Blizzard. He knows that Orisa has no escapability, and it's able to seal the fight.
Yeah, big plays there. PG1, I think, was the first one to get the ult up, but Veg had used it earlier in the fight, so now Veg going to have that Flux up early. Hazard has the Death Blossom, but Wannabe going to be right on his tail as soon as he can pull the trigger one time here. And the Supercharger's still ready to go for Devil.
Exactly, the Supercharger, the big difference here. That's going to set up a lethal combo for the side of Team 2 as they try to push in here, but can they get the setup?
Hazard takes a supercharger out. He falls from above with the Death Blossom. Doesn't get any player kills, but will take the supercharger out of the fight. Probably worth it, as it doesn't give really Wannabe the opportunity to come down with his own Death Blossom. He's going to fall from above right there, but he does get out safely, and the defense holding strong once again. We're only going to see maybe one more engagement here, maybe two if they're fast, but I can't expect too much.
But I gotta feel like I would say this has to be the fight for Team 2, but they're in an awkward spot. They're not exactly going to have a huge advantage when it comes to ult. It's going to be matched by Old Man Strength, and they are ready for this fight. This is going to be huge, and now with 30 seconds left, this will indeed be the last one we see.
I think the first pickoff here could be massive, and it's going to be Hazard that goes down. He was just a little bit overextended. The rest of the team followed in the room there. Blizzard will come out from Nick. Guile doesn't have his up quite yet. Carfixer does have a sound barrier to try and go in the defense, but he was too far away from his team, as Team 2 is going to be able to get in here and clean up with just a little bit of time left on the board. They should be able to clear it and take point one and get a little bit of a time reset.
Yeah, and it all starts there with the pick onto Hazard and Nick coming through with the wall to cut off the retreat. They collapsed in on top of the Reaper. He went for one of the doors, and Nick throws up a wall in his face. He can't get out in time to the safety of his team, so they get that opening pick. They shut down the defense of Old Man Strength, and they saved themselves. They were on the verge of a full hold, and that would have been disastrous.
Yeah, but they are back now, and they're going to keep this payload moving as much as they can. Blizzard from Guile going to come out. Hazard is going to fall to his doppelganger there from one. Going to be quickly followed in suit, though, by Devil and Magic Mateball as they go down if they were frozen up by the Blizzard. So another good, strong hold here. It's going to force the offensive back after the payload has just got started moving.
Exactly what Old Man Strength are looking for here. They're kind of upset that they gave up that point in the first place, and they respond immediately very well. But now, once again, an opportunity to set up that Supercharger Death Blossom combo on the side of Team 2.
Yep, they're back so far up here, but I love that they're just hitting this choke point. They're letting them push out just a little bit. Hazard coming off the top, tries to go for Wannabe, but not going to be able to make the play. A couple of halts right there as kind of the teams get mashed up together in the middle. Superchargers from both teams going to go out as well, but it looks like the side of defense on Old Man Strength and get the opening couple of picks here. You're going to take out Devil's Supercharger as well, chase him into the room, and that should clear up another strong hold.
Yeah, I mean, and it's the same two ultimates used for both teams there, the Supercharger and the Coalescence, and it's just a case of Old Man Strength used theirs first. They got kills and they got advantage with it, and are able to turn that into a fight win. And we're down to kind of a very similar situation. We're running out of chances for Team 2.
Yeah, they're going to have to make something big happen here. Veg does have the Flux up, Hazard with the Death Blossom, and Wannabe with the Death Blossom. They're trading blows up here in the top, and both of them getting down to about a quarter life right there, but neither of them are going to... No Supercharger for Mac or Devil, so it's going to have to be a blanket Death Blossom. It'll go out for Wannabe, gets a double, will take Hazard out of the fight. That could be huge, because now Hazard won't be able to respond with his own Death Blossom, and this could be the opportunity that they needed to get this payload on its way.
Yes, but the strong hold thus far from Old Man Strength means we're going to have another fight here before the payload reaches its destination. And Old Man Strength pushing back in here with ults that are capable of winning fights. The Blizzard, the Death Blossom, that sound barrier should be available by the time things really kick off.
Yeah, it should be up and running, and they're not going to be able to get off the point, and that is scary. I mean, that just limits you so much in your movement. You have to have either really good communication, or you just got to slam everybody on the payload, and that can really scare you, especially with those halts. We just saw just a little bit more, pulled them off right there. Nick was a little bit lucky. They're trying to stay back safe, but they got to stay on that payload. Guile dropping the Blizzard, Nick as well, so all the Blizzard's going to come out. It's going to be a cold winter here. All the ultimate coming out. Coalescence, sound barrier as well. Hazard still has the Death Blossom up. There it is. Gonna get the triple off of it, and that should be the cleanup they were looking for. The defensive hold from Old Man Strength, not quite to point to. Good run for their money from Team 2, but that is going to end this side of the map.
And it's just a commitment of more ultimates there at the tail end of that fight. You know, the Blizzards out from both sides can't find anything thanks to the support ultimates used, but Hazard has just the runway cleared for him to go crazy with that Death Blossom. He does. He saves it for Old Man Strength here at the tail end of point B and stops that cart from moving any further. Now a huge opportunity to take the 2-0 series lead that they probably thought they had in the bag on Anubis.
Yeah, they probably felt a little bit comfortable on that last one, but they don't have to go very far. I mean, that was stopped considerably early, what I would say, on King's Row. I feel like if you can get past the first checkpoint, you kind of expect it to get to where we just saw the payload end there. I feel like the next really scary spot is right before the third point. I feel like if they can get this first capture point overtaken right here, it's going to set them up massively to get the payload down the alleyway.
Yeah, if you're Team 2, you've really got to be focused in on point A. You don't necessarily have to full hold this point. It's not an Anubis situation where you got to make your stand here, but you can't really afford to let this go in the first fight, maybe even the first couple of fights.
Yeah, they got to stick in here for a while. I'm still surprised. I mean, the meta is just so defined right now that everybody playing the same exact heroes, and I'm just so surprised that even on these like extremely important defensive first point holds, that we don't see any changes at all. Everybody just playing it.
No, I mean, I think teams, it's in part inertia, and we're still kind of in the early stages of what this meta exactly is. But teams are playing what they're comfortable with, and that's not going to change here. As Old Man Strength roll out on their attack, they're going to get through the choke point with ease. Team 2 not putting up much of a fight so far, opting to stay back in this corner.
Yep. Walls will come out from each of the maze. Going to try to push in here as Old Man Strength on blue, trying to make their way to capture this. No kills coming out right now. The shield's blocking too much of that extra damage as both of the Orisa shields will break. Sigma shields are both low. Somebody's going to have to be falling here very soon. It'll be Mac as he gets frozen up. Wannabe going to follow him off to the side of the defense. Wannabe in the background as well, trying to take Veg out. Will find him, and Hazard to go down as well. And that should be a first good defensive hold here from Team 2.
That's just great defensive setup from Team 2. The use of the shields especially, they completely deny Guile any ability to get those freezes off, whereas Nick is able to be set up by the halt from Devil to get the big freeze, to get the opening pick, and now an advantage for Team 2.
Wannabe and Hazard, the two Reapers, are in the background, duoing up a little bit, but they step away from each other. PG1 gonna lift him up and slam him down. Gonna follow up right there. Devil gonna get the first kill onto Veg on the offensive side, so Veg gonna be down a man. Wannabe sitting up top, raining in damage with that supercharger from so far away, and he was just getting the easy pick onto Mac, and that is gonna follow him down to their spawn once again. Another fight won for Team 2. Looking good for him on the defense so far.
No, and absolutely massive. They only commit extra on top of what Old Man Strength is doing, the supercharger coming out from Devil. So Mac gonna have the advantage in that regard. So an opening here for Old Man Strength, but already a lot of time bought for the defense.
Yeah, Old Man Strength is farming those ults up quite a bit, though, and we'll see if they use it here. Guile has got the Blizzard up, see if he pops it. He is going to use it almost immediately right now to push this defense off the point. Going to get 3 of them frozen up right there. A Death Blossom will come out as well. Might be a little bit overcommitted, as I think they had that fight won, but they're going to secure it. Minute 30 on the board, and they're going to capture this.
Indeed they will. You're definitely right about the Death Blossom, but they got their point A, which was the big hurdle for them here. Now 4 minutes to get to this yellow box of victory, and they're gonna get the choke point for free. Based on that stagger to PG1, it's gonna be a while before Team 2 can get back in here to recontest.
Well, they had 3 of them. Veg, Guile, and Hazard were just chasing PG1 all the way back to the second door. From the spawn door, and they found him in there and got it, and you're huge, man. It's gonna get him right through this first choke point and around this. This is a one-fight game potentially here for the offense.
Yeah, if Team 2 can't hold on here, I think it's all over. So an opportunity for Old Man Strength. They're gonna open up with the supercharger.
Yeah, Max still had it ready from the last fight. Didn't have to use it. The Blizzard's gonna come out from Nick to try and slow him down, but not gonna find anything off of it really. Nick will fall himself. The trade's coming back and forth. Wannabe going to go out with a Death Blossom. Not going to find anything on that one, however. The team is getting split up here, though, as the defense gets separated. Or excuse me, the offense gets separated, and they do track him down one by one. Payload will finally stop here and allows Team 2 to catch their breath.
It's good, restraint there from Old Man Strength to not commit either of those support ultimates to that fight. They're willing to take the loss there as they force some ultimates out of Team 2. They're going to be able to come back in here with force, with guile, potentially building up to a blizzard.
Oh, great wall right there. Separates PG1 and Magic Mate Ball. Both of them will go down. Beautiful play coming out from Guile on the May. Hazard off the top, just going to make it easy and clean up these backline. The defensive wall is going to try to come out from Nick, but it's not going to matter. And one more fight for sure. They might even get there all the way as we see the DPS. Hazard and... oh, no. Hazard and Carfixer were just pushed out, and Hazard gets a great pick onto CJ. That might do it. They're not even going to get back in time, I don't think. Oh, they are. Devil gets off onto the Hammond.
He finds a kill. This is doable. He's buying time. The Death Blossom is there from Hazard, though.
Not quite enough. Great opening play, though, from Guile on the May. Got them the huge opening 2 picks right there and made the rest of that fight easy.
I mean, now you're seeing the value of kind of the roster flexibility on the side of Old Man Strength on the 2 maps that they've won. You know, they're able to bring in Yeatle and Dimes for the control maps. They're able to play Guile as their May specialist on everything else, and it creates these situations where you've got experts when you need them. And you know, Guile coming up huge. 14 Blizzard kills in that map is just disgusting. And they are
on the Moira, 93% kill participation, man. Laying out at least a damage orb in every single fight right there, man. That was massive on the support.
Bloodthirsty stuff right there, but really a fantastic showing from Old Man Strength. And now you kind of feel them starting to take over this series a little bit. Like, it's been so close up until this point, but that was them really like asserting their dominance. They're done with the games. They want to end this now, and they're on match point. They are one more map away from punching their ticket into the lower bracket final.
I kind of feel like this has been the story that I have seen it develop through Old Man Strength through the whole bracket so far. I feel like they're getting better. Like they don't make more mistakes later. They make mistakes early, if any, and then they just lock it down. They're like, all right, we're done playing around. No more draws. We want to make sure we secure this, and they get better. Their ultimate management is better. You said it right at the end of that fight. Their restraint. They didn't overcommit ultimates in that second to last fight, so that they could go in and win that last one. I feel like Old Man Strength they just continue to improve, even right in front of our eyes while this match is happening. It's been really impressive.
Yeah, and I think they're doing a good job of kind of feeling out their opponents in the middle of a match so far. They're adapting to what Team 2 are throwing at them, and now I'm gonna be interested. It looks like we're headed to Busan for map number 4. Is Yeatle coming back in? Do we see Dimes once again here on Busan? The potential is definitely there.
I feel like we expect it, right? I mean, I can't imagine that they wouldn't swap back to their control.
I would think so, but right now maybe they feel like they're just rolling. We'll see in just a little bit, I'm sure, if we're going to be getting any subs. And this would scare me if I'm Team 2. I don't know how I feel about them picking control maps. I guess they're going to try their luck against the setup of Old Man Strength, and indeed Yeatle and Dimes coming back into the fray. We're seeing these adjustments. They've been so huge for Old Man Strength so far, and now an opportunity to close out this series.
I really love this. I love that, again, they've got the depth, man. They could bring in these swaps like this. It's just beautiful to be able to have that potential on your team, to be able to do that, know what your players' strengths, maybe their weaknesses are, and swap them out. That just gives them such a huge advantage, I feel like, having an 8 or 9 man roster like this that they can swap in on a whim to really, really capitalize on each one of the points. And I think it's given them enough of an edge. They've worked all the way through the losers bracket. This has got to be one of the main reasons why, I feel like.
And to me, it's such like a luxury to have in tier 3, especially,
right?
Where no one has these giant rosters for the most part. It's not something that you see a whole lot. And there's good reason for that. When you're in tier 3, everybody is trying to prove themselves, which means they want to play as much as possible. Everybody wants to be in for every map. but to find people who are fine with being like a situational player, someone who only plays control maps, for example, is it takes a huge degree of like selflessness and willingness to sacrifice a little bit of the individual glory for the team's success. And I'm all about it.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, it's the marketing, Shy. It's the name. Everybody wants to be on Old Man Strength. You know? It's a scary team, man. It's good marketing right there. I'm curious. I haven't talked to them, but I think based on their name, I'm assuming that they're an older generation of players. They're probably not teenagers, I would guess. Maybe some of them are, but I feel like I've heard them in interviews say that most of them are older as well. And maybe what you're talking about comes with a little bit of maturity. You know, they're not here to play in the spotlight as much. They're not here to just play all the time. They're here to win this bracket as a team, as a unit, and bring out each other's strengths. So,
yeah, well, we're going to get to see them have a chance to do just that here on Busan. We'll be kicking things off on Sanctuary. Now, this is an interesting point. It's much more, I would say, wide open than a lot of the others. And it would give some opportunities to run some different stuff. I expect Dimes 100% back on the Pharah.
Gotta be.
That's got to be the pick here. And I guess the rest will probably still be the standard stuff. Team 2, they haven't gone off it pretty much. Like, they brought out the Reinhardt on the first control point, but you're not going to see that here on Sanctuary. I don't think you're going to get the sim in play, so I really don't know what the response is here. I guess they'll expect the Pharah up in the sky, so you could see a bit of hit scam pressure. Wannabe flashing the McCree right now.
Yeah, you might have read his mind.
It's definitely possible. I mean, if Dimes has the same kind of impact he did on Lijiang Tower, you need someone to respond. Like, you can't just ignore it.
Another interesting pick, we see Hazard right now on Hanzo, which I think he was playing earlier tonight, but it just seems like an odd map. I feel like there is some openness here, but I wouldn't have expected it, I guess.
I don't know. I kind of like it here on Sanctuary. There's a lot of different angles you can get. You've got these little windows on the side. There's a lot of cover and long sight lines you can use, and they're going to try to abuse that as Dimes kind of wraps around the back and on the sides and puts pressure.
Ooh, Devil gonna take the Hanzo out though, so might have been peeking a little bit too much as he will go down. And you said Wannabe was gonna flash the McCree. He's staying on it right now. Dimes not getting taken out of the air so far yet by the McCree, but he is sitting on it. First capture gonna go to side of Team 2 here. Or excuse me, an Old Man Strength. Wait, yeah, Team 2. Got my colors right. I'm getting all confused, Shy. We swapped back a point again. But the revive coming back from Carfix are gonna even it back up. Dimes, there he's on the board.
The Coalescence can't save him.
Not going to be enough. Madero actually going to follow up as well as PG1. Going to go Wannabe taken out. Yeetle, not the hero I expected the McCree to be taken out of the game right there, but he will fall down. Trying to stall it out just a little bit, but Blue swarming all over the point. Nick and CJ will both go down. Magic Mateball going to try to stall as long as possible. That should be about it. But man, 35% on the board for him before the retake. That's a lot better than their first one we saw.
Yeah, that's not too bad, but now you've got Dimes kind of having free reign up in the sky, able to just lay in these long-range rockets and poke you down as you try to make your approach. So it gets a little bit more difficult here. A nice halt might set up the kill, and indeed they get it.
What a pick-off. A great halt, great shot, long range from Nick. Dragon Strike will come out, however. Hazard going to get a double kill, not able to get out of the line of fire in time as Nick and PG1 will go down. Wannabe makes him pay for it, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. Magic Mateball on Lucio will drop the sound barrier as well, trying to keep their team up, and Carfix are going to bring Hanzo right back into the fight. Supercharger down for Mac as well. Dime still sitting on that barrage, being patient with it, knows he doesn't need to use it right now. And the ultimate economy heavily in Old Man Strength's favor as they hold on and has surpassed Team 2's percentage.
When was the last time you saw an unassisted Dragon Strike double kill?
Yeah, it seemed like maybe it was just good alleyway. I mean, they had him coming around the corner, good placement, but it did not feel good. That's
Yeah, and now for Team 2, you've got to make this next fight work in my mind. You cannot afford to be losing this one. You've got tools to use, and you've got to use them well.
Yeatle in the background trying to separate him. There comes Dimes with the barrage, takes out Magic 8-Ball, but Wannabe was there with the hard counter, takes him out of the sky as they trade. So it stops the barrage, but not before taking their Lucio out. Supercharger will go down for Devil. Another strike. Gonna get a double kill here. Not this time, as they are able to clear out of the fight. Nick will drop a Blizzard in the background, but Mac able to defensive through it. Not gonna go down at all. As the trade's going back and forth, as we've got to get to an overtimer here.
At some point we will, but it seems like a potential option for Team 2 to get back in this fight. They've still got numbers on the point, but they got to find the kills. They got to get Wannabe an angle. He's so low, dropping lower, and will fall to Yeatle.
Yep, and the ultimate favors in favor of Team 2 as well. Wannabe gets taken out, though. Like you said, that is huge, as he wasn't able to use the high noon. PG1 does have the Flux up and available as well. Supercharger ready for Mac, and the landmines ready for Yeatle as well. That could be huge to clear him off, but they are going to just kind of give up the point, I think, at that 99% reset and come in here with a strong team push.
Indeed. But when they need it most, Team 2 come up with the fight win there. It takes a lot to happen. The real kind of offensive tools they'll have is that high noon to go alongside the Gravitic Flux. You can lift them up and shoot them out of the sky potentially. So we'll see if that combo is going to come through for Team 2.
Depending on what side of the fence you're on there, that could be the combo that dreams or nightmares are made of, and I hope that we get to see some beauty. PG1, a great opening pick off. The two tanks taking Hanzo out of this fight before he can get another Dragon Strike built up here. Dimes is going to be ready with that barrage. If he doesn't go down, though, gets down to about 1%, and he will finally fall, as McCree will take him out of there. The Flux and the Lucio ult from Magic 8-Ball and the High Noon all coming out. This is Team 2's final stand here, as Yeatle will go down. The recap almost getting taken right there.
This is going to be the last fight.
It's got to be it.
They're going to win. Team 2 has got this. There's no chance for Old Man Strength to get back in here. Just Hazard on the side, laying in arrows. Yeatle might get in there for the overtime touch, but this is going to be difficult.
How long can Yeatle stall for on the Hammond? Enough to tap the overtimer one time. They are going to be respawned here. Mac has switched onto the Reinhardt. Going to try to come in. Dragon Strike will go out. PG1 getting very low, will go down with a little bit of help right there. But Darrow getting the kill as well, and that is going to do it. Shy, they're going to retake this point at 99%.
No. Team 2, you had it. You had it. And they go down without using the supercharger. I don't understand how that happens. It's so tragic. And now they are on the verge of elimination here. One more loss here on Busan, and it's all over for Team 2.
Yeah, we are going to be doing it in Mecha Base as well. We go down to this final potential match-winning round here for Old Man Strength. All the way through the loser's bracket. Can they get to the loser's bracket finals? We got one more 100% mark to get. Such a close, just nail-biter right there for Team 2.
All right, well, now we get into the section of the series that I think favors Team 2 a little bit, where we're on Mecha Base, which means no Pharah, no Wrecking Ball, just the standard comps. And, Old Man Strength still very capable on this, but this is where Team 3 is at their best.
Yeah, and they're going right into the thick of it. Teams are just bailing on each other. I mean, they are just full tilt, all in the mix right now. Maywalls are coming out. Nick going to be the first one to get a pick onto Yeatle, and that could determine the rest of this fight here, as Old Man Strength has to back off towards the point. Hazard still in the background. He could get picked, but he is able to wraith away, and he will be safe, and it does open up the opportunity for Team 2 to get the first capture on this point, as Old Man Strength is just backed up here on the high ground.
They'll be all right with that, because they get to control the high ground, they get to regroup, and now an opportunity to really take this fight.
Yeah, halt into the coalescence there, but nothing going to come out of it. A good defensive wall from Nick to save him, I think, as a couple of them were extremely low on the red team. A good pickoff from Wannabe on the car fixer, so no more healing. Going to be ready on the side of Old Man Strength. Just the Madero in the back. Hazard playing very aggressively, and he is going to have to get pushed all the way off. A great reposition! Oh my goodness!
What is that?
That was beautiful.
One. I have never seen that before. That's so damn
Somebody
cool.
clip it.
The shadow step to save his life there from Hazard. The creative mid-air teleport is a thing to behold. They don't win the fight, but they get some style points.
Yeah, put him on the board for style, man. Make him do my shopping for me. That was beauty. And then they come back right into it. Devil and Wannabe, PJ1 on the board as well. They're gonna clean up here as Team 2 just gonna wipe them out.
All right, well, Team 2 finally coming alive here on Busan. They've got the advantage by winning that first fight. They press it there with the supercharger, and now we're going to be in a situation. They're building up, going to hit 70% before this fight starts. They've put themselves in the best position possible.
Yeah, Team 2 really didn't want to lose that fight. They were like, man, the Reaper got away. We can't let that happen. Got to show them who's... They clear him out right there. Nick with the Blizzard, the Death Blossom as well coming out from Hazard, but Hazard gets immediately taken out. He will go down. Blizzard now in response from Dimes on Old Man Strength. Freezes Devil up, but he's behind his shield nice and safe. Nick gonna take out the Doppelganger. Dimes, another Death Blossom from Wannabe. That one's gonna get a kill right there as Team 2 all over the kill feed once again. Trying to get a little bit of a cheeky back cap here from Carfixer, but that is gonna do it. Team 2, you said it, had the advantage on this map, and they will take it 100% to 0, and they stay in.
Okay, now this is exactly kind of what I would have expected on that point. Team 2 able, perhaps more convincingly than I anticipated, able to get the win there, stave off elimination, and now we get to head into downtown, where the Wrecking Ball possible. Not necessarily, I would say, as favored as it was on Sanctuary. So kind of a middle ground here, I would say, as we head into this last map, and it's really going to come down to the execution.
Yeah, definitely, though, we're going to see the Pharah, and Dimes has been the key player on that one in these control points that we've... And, yeah, I mean, we're seeing it. Yeatle, you said, opportunity for the Hammond. We'll see it all the way out in front here in his ball form. All the way on the point, easy cleared out. Dimes raining in damage, getting picked off a little bit right there as well, but he was landing some huge rockets, already up to 40% ult charge. They get 50 as Hazard gonna take Wannabe out of there as well, so a huge picks off from Hanzo, and Dimes gonna get CJ as well. They say we are not going down, we're taking this 3-0, and they are opening up huge. Dimes already has the barrage up before the control point even unlocks.
Yeah, well, right now, Old Man Strength are playing this so well. The comp from Team 2, it wants to take this frontline fight, but they're just not giving it to them. Between the Hanzo on the high ground, the Pharah in the sky, and Yeatle rolling all over the place, how do you ever force a fight if you're Team 2?
Yeah, they're doing such a good job at keeping them separated. Yeatle on the Hammond, I mean, it's just been doing so good at separating them and then letting the DPS do their... it's just been extremely impressive to see all night tonight. Yeatle, though, bit off a little bit more than he could choose right there. The barrage will come out, but Dimes is going to fall. Takes out CJ. The res immediately from Carfixer. Doesn't actually get it off, though. Gets stopped.
Mateball booped him away, stopped it out, but still Hazard coming up with the kills.
Yeah, big pickoffs from Hazard right there, keeping his team on the defense. That was going heavily in favor of Team 2, if not for that double kill right there. And Wannabe and Mateball just going to go ahead and drop off the map, reset, and try to take this one.
Okay, and here is where it starts to get very nerve-wracking for Team 2. You're running out of chances. Every fight feels like a must-win at this point. And they're going to be pushing into not a huge ultimate bank from Old Man Strength. So an advantage for the attackers as long as that dragon doesn't find pay dirt.
Oh, I found Nick. It was off just by about 6 or 7 degrees. If it was just a little bit farther to the right, that could have easily been a triple kill as they were trapped inside of that little hallway, but Nick going down is still huge. No Blizzard for them during this fight, and that's going to let that percentage just tick up just enough more. CJ going to get a pick off onto the Hanzo, but the damage has been done already. They're going to try to keep pushing in. Gets his doppel right there as Madero will go down, so a good double kill from CJ with the Coalescence, making a triple all by himself. The DPS, or the support DPS, is popping off right now, and this will let Team 2 get set up here after they recap. It should. Dimes and Carfixer will go down.
But we're at 95% for Old Man Strength. This is one fight, and they are about to be loaded with ultimates. They poke a little bit before this next fight starts. 5 are going to be online, and the responses aren't really there from Team 2. Neither support ultimate anywhere close.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a long holdout here. The ultimates are gonna be coming up huge for Old Man Strength. Yeatle dropping the landmines, gonna knock him back. Look how much they get separated right there. The DPS can come in and try to pick them off now. Devil trying to stay up top as they regroup underneath. Wannabe tried to pop off the high noon right there, but wasn't able to find anything. Also, Supercharge will go out from Mac. Coalescence coming down. Dragon Strike as well, but it's not even going to matter as Madero finds a double. Yeatle gets a pick off onto CJ. Wannabe in PG1, though, holding it in here.
They're trying, but they're at a huge disadvantage. The numbers are not with them. Dimes back in the fight. It could spell trouble. Wannabe's got to pop off now, and he just might be doing it.
He gets it, but not without the retake. Now they're going to be up to 99% after the retake. Dimes says, this is my time to shine. And he will pop the barrage, gets a double right there. Hazard getting one onto Lucio, and that is a huge retake right there in the middle of that fight for Old Man Strength. And I cannot imagine Team 2 will be able to stall out long enough. May sit in the ice block, but that should do it. Wannabe and Magic Mateball going to try to get in here. PG1 on the Hammond as well. They're stalling as long as they can, but he's going to get almost knocked off by Yeatle. Stays on the map. Kill feed still going to be blue, and finally they do fall off. And Old Man Strength, after a long, hard fight, will take it 3-0 in an extremely close 3-0.
Yeah, that was a really entertaining series, and the barrage from Dimes is what kind of seals it for Old Man Strength there. Mac with the setup, though. The halt that pulled Team 2 off of the high ground right into the waiting arms of Dimes was absolutely beautiful. Stopped any chance of a comeback there from Team 2. And they do go home here tonight, but they can go home with their heads held high. They put up such an incredible fight here tonight and really pushed Old Man Strength.
Yeah, it was a tough one the whole way through. I think you also talked about Dimes having that barrage right at the end. It was just great patience from him not using it in the previous fight or the beginning of that fight. They had a couple of kills right there. I felt like Dimes maybe would have hit the Q just to seal it out and retake it, but patient enough to hold on to it. Didn't feel like he needed it until the time was right. He found the right time, got the double kill off that great halt, and they do finally seal it in there. So Old Man Strength going to be moving on to Losers Bracket Finals after a long Losers Bracket run. And they'll be going all the way to the top.
Yeah, they're going to be continuing on in the tournament. And to give us a little bit of insight onto this match and Old Man Strength in general, we're now going to be joined by Guile for a bit of a post-match interview. Guile, how are you feeling after that one?
Feeling pretty good. They kind of surprised us a bit with their aggression and tempo, but I think we did pretty well. It was a fun match all around.
Yeah, so you said they surprised you a little bit. You know, what kind of things was your team doing over the course of that match to kind of adapt to what Team 2 threw at you?
So we usually play like pretty passive aggressive, the May style, but and they played the same kind of style where they would sit passive and then all go aggressive at the same time, and like it just took a little bit over the course of the series to get used to that and like kind of counteract it with our own May Reaper, kind of like waiting to get walls and good pulls off throughout, and it just took a little bit to get it down what they were trying to do and counteract it, but we managed to do it.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting from a caster's point of view to narrate through some of it because you guys were doing ultimates at the same time. You guys were ISO on exactly the same time. It was really funny back and forth. It was like a mirror match a lot of the times on a lot of the fights. And I agree with you guys saying both kind of playing that stay back, wait it out, okay, go. And then everybody would go at the same time. And it was interesting to watch.
Yeah, it was a lot of chaos, honestly. Half the time I didn't know what the hell was going on.
I'm glad I'm not alone in that, so I appreciate hearing that. I want to ask you a little bit about the kind of approach that your team has with this 8-man roster that you guys are running, the subs between you Dimes and Yeatle coming in for those control maps. What do you think that does for your team, and how do you guys kind of manage to make that rotation work?
So we just have a lot of like we have a few players that have really specific hero pools, and you got Yeatle with his like sick ball that he can just roll kids over on, and we got Dimes and me on the flex DPS role, and we just kind of sub each other out and in based on our like heroes, like which heroes are better than each other on, and like which maps we feel most comfortable on. And I think it just adds like a new layer of like a next layer of dimensionality to the roster that a lot of teams don't have and can't like adapt to. Like you see our Hanzo, Farrakhan, Koth and stuff like that, and with Ball, and like a lot of teams just get rolled over by that comp because they just consistently have seen Doom Reaper and like May Reaper comps throughout, and it's just because of how skilled our players are and their specific heroes, we do a really good job in balancing that out and making sure we can get the best of our players throughout. So
yeah, it shows a lot of depth on your guys' roster to be able to do that. Me and Shy were kind of talking about it midway through the match, especially in the tier 3 leagues. You don't get to see that nearly as much as you kind of hope, because I think it adds a whole bunch of dimensionality to your guys' team and gives you guys a big advantage going through it. You guys feel like you had a long trek through the losers bracket? You guys made to losers bracket finals. You can be ready to move on to the grand finals. You guys feel?
Oh, we are ready. Yeah, we don't know who we're facing, but I'm sure we're gonna, prepare and definitely bring it to them, whoever the hell it is. To get dedicated or Scion. I'm sure we're gonna make it through, and just can't wait to be there. I actually joined the roster right when the losers bracket started, like when we got demoted down to the losers bracket. So
you're the secret. You're the secret. That's it.
Nah, I wouldn't say that. No. I played dedicated. No, I'm trolling. Yeah, never mind. We lost the game.
Never mind. Scratch that. Cut it.
I just can't remember anything before losers bracket at this point because it's been such a long road. I see.
Exactly. It's been like 3 or 4 games. I forget. 3 games.
It's been a fantastic time just getting to watch you guys progress, and it feels like the momentum is kind of building. Every match has seemed better than the last as you continue to face off against stronger and stronger competition. It's been really impressive to see your run. So I just want to give you guys some congratulations, and before we let you go, give you the opportunity to plug streams, people behind the scenes, anything at all that anyone that you want to give thanks or shout outs to. This is your chance.
Oh, I gotta plug our sponsors, the chainsawdirect.com. They support us in every single way from behind the scenes. They're really the driving force behind our team's success, I'd say. And we just couldn't be more grateful. That's all I gotta go. That's all I got.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate them for giving you guys the support you need, and we appreciate y'all for giving us some wonderful Overwatch. Thanks for joining us for the interview. We'll let you go celebrate with your team.
All right. Cool. Peace.
All right. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, that was a good match. It was all I could have hoped the semifinals ramping up to be, and it gets me, even though I was already excited, it gets me even more excited for the next couple matches in this.
And we're not done just yet. We've still got one more match to go here tonight, a couple more going on next week. But when we come back in about 30 minutes, we'll have the second match of the night, Scion Esports taking on the Dedicated Gaming. That is going to be an absolute blockbuster of a match. So take a break, go find yourself some snacks, get back here in a little while. It's going to be good. Yep.
Before we get out of here, do you want to give the shout outs to all you guys have been voting down in the MVP poll underneath? I don't know if this one's very unexpected tonight, but it is going to be Dimes taking away the MVP of the night. So shout outs to Dimes. He was only in 2 out of the 4 matches, I think, tonight, taking away, standing out and above. So thanks to everybody for voting, and congrats to Dimes for taking home the viewer MVP. Absolutely. Last thing is I'll put on here is make sure you guys all go ahead and check out Star Esports. If you're new viewers, click that follow button, come stick around. We got a whole rest of this bracket to finish out over the next few days, or the rest of this week, I guess. Make sure to check out their Twitter as well at Star Esports Live on Twitter. And if you want to come join any of the action, come hook up into the Discord as well. Start getting your teams together, find a team, maybe scrim a team, set up for whenever we get our next round of tournaments going, and you can get signed up for yourself as well. Awesome community, awesome group, and I'm extremely lucky and happy to be a part of it.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you so much, Twes. We'll be back in just a little while with the second match of the night. Be sure to rejoin us in just a little while. We'll see you on the other side of this break.